Hey guys, this is the ambient gentleman, Kevin Ian of The Common Men, and I thought I was going to go ahead and give you a little tutorial about running effects into a feedback loop and how to make your own using a really simple method using a mixer. Any mixer will do as long as you have this, and if it doesn't focus, whatever, an FX send. A send for your effects. So some of you are probably familiar with some of my feedbacking videos, and I'm a really big fan of integrating that in a pop setting, in a rock music setting. But some of you may want to try and get into it, and you just don't know how. Some of you are familiar with companies like Onoho, the Chick Chick Boom. This one's been modified to have a latching switch. And some of you are familiar with like a typical feedback loop setting. This one is based off of a Beavis audio design, and I know companies like Deviever and Death by Audio also do feedback loops. Some of you really want to experiment with it, but you don't know how to get into it. So this is a good way to kind of, introduce yourself to feedback looping and, what you can do with it, because I definitely recommend people experimenting and trying to get into it, and I don't know, maybe it'll open up some new possibilities for you. Now, this is what we're gonna do. First thing you got to do first is to make sure you get your amp, turn it all the way off. This thing gets loud and it's extremely unpredictable. You don't want to blow your gear. So this is this is the chain that I'm running right now. I'm running a flange that goes into the Onoho Chick Chick Boom. So I've got a feedback loop within a feedback loop. And in this small feedback within feedback loop, I have the War Penguin, which is a Tone Machine clone built by Todd of Grumpy Toad FX. I have an analog phaser and I have a mini vibe here. Now, from here, we go into a synth wah, a bass EQ, the 4chan, this is the only one that exists, and a fab distortion. Now, I run distortion here at the end as kind of a volume control because this thing can get loud, especially in a musical setting. So, when I do this, I have this as a volume control so that way it's not too loud and it's not too soft, because with this kind of thing going on, it can get very unpredictable in terms of volume. So I use distortion to drive signals, just like you would a boost. So let's go ahead and start from here. The first pedal in your chain is going to run from your pedal all the way here to the FX send. So the input would be the FX send. The last pedal in your chain, right here, you're going to run the out to an output here, which is the line in of channel 1. So what you're doing is that you're sending these pedals in a constant loop with each other. So let's go ahead and review that. First pedal in the chain, first pedal of the chain of your feedback loop, you're going to take to the FX send. Last pedal in your chain, you're going to take to, just go and designate it just input 1. And you're going to go ahead and plug that in. Alright? I'm going to go ahead and turn up the volume here so I can go ahead and get things rolling. And let's see what happens. Just, real quick note, I'm going to use this, the Tone Machine clone, to drive the signal, because usually I'm playing a guitar when I'm doing my noise. So the signal from the guitar actually drives the signal of the feedback loop. But since I don't have anything else plugged in right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to work with this. Alright? So here we go. This is the tone control of the Tone Machine. You'll notice how going through the different tone, the range of the tone, affects the signal. Same thing with the distortion. Now I'm going to introduce flange. The speed of the flange is at its slowest setting. Listen what happens when I start to sweep through the speed control, because I have the regen at maximum and I have the depth at maximum. That's how you're going to get the most extreme sounds out of your flange. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do something like an envelope filter, which is a Digitech one. And I'll just go ahead and go through some of the settings so you can see what happens and how the pedal reacts. So you can see some settings nothing happens. When you start to mess with it, things start happening. Now, we'll go ahead and put both of them against each other, and we'll see what happens. You can still hear the flange go through its full sweep, but now it's affecting how this pedal reacts with itself. And then pedals like this phaser right here, exact same principle. Same thing here. Now when you start to really get a lot of pedals going, all the sounds start fighting with each other in the most beautiful ways. And then when you take something like here, a feedback loop within a feedback loop, you start to really throw things haywire. To the point where almost nothing happens. have it.